Hey there, it's Friday the 11th of March, and as I just recently posted on my various social media, I've done as I often do. I got home from the day job and immediately shed the polyester of servitude, had a quick shower, put a suit on, because it's good for morale. If you dress a man, you dress a person so that they take pride in their appearance. Most of the other factors being equal, you get a better person out of it. So here am I working on an absolutely unique kilt. This is, I believe, the BC College of Dentists corporate tartan. It's the only piece of cloth and the only kilt in that tartan. I believe the college is in the process of being created. Now, this was brought to me by the fellow who's running all of this show, and he's lost a good deal of weight. And of course, when someone loses weight, if their waist measurement becomes smaller, the kilt, in addition to having been taken in, often needs to be shortened because it's like a hypotenuse of a triangle. Is that the cloth described this shape? It's describing this shape now, or this straighter line now, and therefore requires less material. So I've measured them. I've taken a bit off the top. I opened it up, and I immediately started to find complications. It's beautifully sewn. It's sewn by machine, but the person who did it were very, very good at what they did. But I don't like machine sewn seams because they're a pain in the backside to take apart. At least I find them so. And I also found that the interior canvas is this stuff. It's fusible interfacing. It's basically a tailor's canvas permeated with some sort of glue, some hot melt glue. So you put it on, you iron it, and it sticks in place. And this tells us this person knows something about tailoring but knows nothing about kilt making, because we don't need this. This is for shaping, and we don't need shaping because it's under tension and laying against the figure. So that's a mistake. But what I've done is I've shortened it, and then I immediately ran into a problem because by shortening it, I have to move the buttonhole down to generally, almost invariably, 2.5 inches from the top of the kilt, relative to the may not be the right term, relative to the person's natural waist. And what I did was, by so doing, I discovered that this person had done roughly what I do, in that they leave a flap to turn over to form the buttonhole. And there's the flap there, as we can see, with all that nasty glue stuck to it. Fortunately, this goes in the bin, so I don't care. But they'd made this flap, but the top of their flap where they'd cut is exactly where my buttonhole is going to be, or at least the edge of the buttonhole is going to be. So I took a couple of days just staring at it, thinking, oh good, a challenge. So what I've done is I've used a small piece of that canvas, and as you can see, I've basted it, I've pad stitched it. So the stitching is largely invisible on this side and evident on that side. So I've pad stitched the canvas to back this piece. I've sewn this shut, and now I can sew the apron, and I'm just going to make a chalk mark. That's where our new buttonhole is going to be. The buttonhole will then, I'm going to give it proper 5 inches and fold it over again. I'm not going to make the same mistake. And it's not really a mistake, but this person wasn't looking ahead at possible alterations. Ideally, a kilt properly made will be almost limitlessly alterable. So that's now stabilized. I may overstitch that one more time. I will do this canvas and then carry on as before. This may be a tiny bit visible when we sew the lining in, but it'll be as neat as we possibly can. And at least the buttonhole stitch is going to be on top of that, so the damaged bit is going to be obscured by that. So there you go. There's another tool in your tailoring, kilt making tailoring tool chest if you encounter this problem, this complication in the future. Oh yeah, one other thing. I'm going to take a look at this when it's done, and frankly, if need be, because this is no waist tartan, right? If need be, no, I'm not matching it perfectly here. There. If need be, I will stitch a patch on over top, and of course this will be turned back, right? This will be sewn down, pad stitched in place, turned over, so that even when just the little bit of cloth that's visible through the buttonhole in the lining, we're not going to see a whacking great scar. So there we go. Good luck with that if you should encounter such a thing, and carry on. Thank you.